everyone, it's Enjooooy, new video, and in this video, this podcast video, I will be talking about the average rankings of Eurovision songs 2024 in the bigger complex. It's more like a podcast way. Again, I don't have any crazy structure about it. I just know what I want to tell you and what I want to compare with this Eurovision with the previous ones, and to tell you about the quality decrease, even though it's not that easy to say because there are also some positives to say, but more likely to talk about if this is a trend or if this is something what we should be aware, and also when it might lead from Eurovision complex. Of course, I know, guys, that some of you and lots of you are hardcore fans and you're looking at Eurovision from the perspective that you're too into it, that it's not enough for you from various angles. But I will be talking more about Eurovision from the above perspective, where it could lead or where it can go, and how regular viewer or artists who would like maybe to connect with Eurovision really think, and why what's happening now, it's a little bit danger for the quality level of Eurovision as we know. Let's talk. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I would be very glad if you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, buy me a coffee or hit the super like to support this channel also, and me especially. And also you can become a member, so you will receive every content much sooner than the rest, and also have some exclusive content for you. Depends on the layer, tier of quality you will decide. I really recommend it because it's really good for me also, and also it might be very valuable for you because I will try to give you more of those videos like this to make you think about Eurovision from different perspective, because you must understand that I'm not really a fan of Eurovision in the way that I will be looking what some country do, compare it to the past, being too much into ethno and local flavors and so on and so on. As a producer and as a person who influenced a lot Czechia's Eurovision, not those years, but started this new era till 2016 until 2020, where I picked basically 95% of the songs to the national selection. I have a vision for Eurovision, not just from local perspective, from Czechia perspective, but also for the whole thing, because I somehow believe this is important for raising the quality and prestige of the whole project. And now you can say like, yes, okay, but we don't want this, we like Eurovision how it is, it's connecting people, it's diversity, blah, blah, blah. I honestly don't care that much about those parameters, because I think those are a little bit obsolete in the global world where we all speak English, in the global world where we are connected completely differently, and also in the world where we finally can really compete, and there are many things to do about it, because if this project should rise, the quality of music should also rise with it, because actually this is all connected. And therefore, because the competition market of music just became absolutely different than in 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s and 2000s, because of social platforms, streaming platforms and so on, that to shine in music, it's hard. And Eurovision is one of, even if not the least project, where you can really shine, because you are singing even in 3 minutes, but you are singing for almost 200 million people, which makes it the biggest project in the world in television. And we, for some reason, are unable as Europeans in general to use this power in our advantage. Only Swedes can do it, Ukrainians can partly do it, and Italians can partly do it. The reason is that all those three music markets are very, very developed, and basically it's not so much, or at some point, connected to Eurovision itself. It's because they want to do world music, and after all, they're using Eurovision as a pinnacle of their craft, or as a mirroring their craft in the whole industry, because the whole industry receives money from it. Those are very wealthy music industries, which also at some point involve people who create the quality, which is inevitable, because when there is a money, there is eventually a quality. Anyway, this is what, of course, it's like this, what those countries or some of those countries really build up. and use it for their advantage as a presentation, which Eurovision actually, after all, is. At some point, at least it was, that they worked a lot in their domestic league. Some other countries, and most of countries, they don't do it, and they don't know how to do it, how to motivate. And also, and this is tricky about Eurovision, that if only few countries are doing it smartly enough because they want to win every year and being very high, and they are, this is the reason. Also, so many countries not doing it, and they are much more visible because there are plenty, which demotivates the other artists in the rest of the country. So for example, I'm telling you that to manage to get people to Eurovision, to explain them, hey guys, okay, Eurovision can have whatever quality you think, but still 200 million people will watch you. You have a big chance for them to sell all the pluses which Eurovision has, which are plenty many. It's very hard because they will always argument like, yes, but I saw Eurovision last year and they were like 10 songs with the super below average quality or something. So many arguments against, also public voting in semifinals, also neighbor votings, also, those little things that you can say like, okay, this went to the finals with zero quality and this didn't or struggled. I say like, yeah, this Eurovision is like, okay, so I don't want to go. And actually the biggest sales point of Eurovision are those 200 million viewers, which I think it's not enough. But in past 10 years, the average quality of music rised up. Average quality. I'm not saying that we still have those big hits. I think if I just put in the rankings, and this is the reason why I'm doing this video, to put in rankings on the music we have at Eurovision. For example, this year there is no 10 out of 10, there is no 9 of 10, and I would say there is not even 8 out of 10. And if maybe 2 songs are touching the lower part of 8, then we have few 7s, and then we have a lot of 6s, few 5s, maybe 1, 2, 4s. But 10 years ago, the average quality was the most of the songs were 5 and below. So this is better, and I think artists sees it, and also they are kind of aware that if the quality of the whole market is not good enough, it's very hard to produce songs out of like better than 7, better than 8, 9. This is very rare. So just to put it into context, this is also hard, and to tell them like, okay, maybe at Eurovision there are, let's say, a little bit more average songs than you would expect from such a huge show, right? But touch your conscious, is our market, for example, in Czechia, developed enough? Or how many songs which in this comparison with Eurovision songs are better? What we produced last year? Which songs will go for the 6, for example, like in this European scale, in this European ranking, in this competition? And I would tell you that not really many. And I think this is the reason why it's getting also better at Eurovision, because also we put a mirror into the whole music industry. And if they want to compete, if the artist wants to really compete, even their average requirements must rise from everywhere, even for composers, for producers, for everybody. It's a huge, much bigger pressure. And what I think Eurovision is not doing right, and the producer's choice to, for example, eliminate juries, even though they were frauds, but eliminate juries from semifinals, is that the average quality will go down, because public don't care about it, especially Eurovision hardcore fans. I think they don't, like, sorry guys, but I think lots of you don't really care about quality because you are too much into the contest that you look it in the bubble of the contest. Not how artists really think, how producers really think, how composers really think. And you're created so much pressure about it that it's absolutely killing the show from this position and becoming back Skansen. And I think all the producers, they just need to think out of this bubble, because then the artist will never understand Eurovision. And for you, this is okay. Like, you understand Eurovision, you know what you're talking about, you know who won in 1973, but honestly, no one really cares about this from the part of the people who just know they're perfect artists but don't know anything about Eurovision, and they have it fixed as a bizarre, crazy project with average music. So I think our next goal should be to raising the quality of average, because of course we cannot be keen on producing, or any country cannot be keen really that producing ultra hits every single time. We are still not on US level, and also so many artists wouldn't apply with such songs, which is a pity. It's a big pity, especially for big five countries, who I believe, big five countries, because they are really the biggest and their music markets are the most developed, also should really work much better in accordance to their music industry, but not in the way to please Eurovision fans. I think this is the biggest mistake they are doing, that they're looking how to support those most loud voices, which after all are few, in compare, instead of fulfilling the goal of being big five, also with big chances of winning, also with big, I don't know say big artists, but the best music, best artists, which doesn't mean that the most famous, but really amazing ones with great music, because those big five countries can really inspire the rest, and we can see it in Italy. Even Italy has a big luck that also have Sanremo. The Sanremo past few years, it's amazingly well produced, and it's producing amazing artists, or giving this platform, it's a perfect showcase of when you support the music industry. The music industry is very competitive, there is a lot of money in it, it's a big prestige, they create a big prestige show to have stars in it with amazing showcasing music, and they can also perform well, so well, amazingly. Like Italy, in their top 10 artists in Sanremo, more likely they are all touching the 8 out of 10. And definitely, if I just took the artist quality, how they can perform, how they can manage, they are there, and that's what every single country basically needs, because it also shows, and it also shows in Scandinavia, but that's in every country a bit different, but in Italy it shows that if you create the prestige show on your own league, in your own league, you can there are only positives about it. For example, now I was in Romania, and every single day I listened Sinceramente in the radio. Of course I didn't hear La Noia, probably not such a big radio hit, but it's still an amazing song. But it can tell you that more and more you do better your national selection, prestige platform. And especially if you don't have competition, for example in Czechia, there wouldn't be a competition for such a platform. There is nothing. There is Awards Anděl, which is let's say the jury-based awards for artists, which is a lot about who knows whom. So it doesn't really reflect the real quality mostly. And then we have just the public awards, and this also doesn't reflect any quality. Like more likely most of artists winners in most of them from all those both awards wouldn't be able to manage to shine at Eurovision at all, because they are not there in the quality. So popularity is not the measurement, and I think we need to think about it this way, that what we want from Eurovision, where we want to develop, and also that also tells it's possible to create such platforms because there is a space on the market, because basically market doesn't demand it, but maybe it's an amazing space for a change, and creating platform for artists who would normally maybe in such environments wouldn't have a chance, wouldn't stand a chance, connect them with public broadcasters with such amazing story, motivation and creation, then eventually everything will rise. And I think more countries with the real ambitions, with the real power of having this big dream, this motivation, and this, to have it straight conceptual work, what I want to do, what I want to achieve in time, why I'm doing those steps I'm doing, and rising requirements every single year. It can motivate the artist, but only in the case that also they will feel it in their pockets. So it must be also done the way that you put an amazing marketing around it. You just create a glory around this, and then this glory just pass through to Eurovision. And then with more countries like that, the average quality will rise up, but we still need to think about that Eurovision, and you call lots of time EBU, but it's not about the EBU in general, because EBU is what? It's a platform where all the other countries are meeting and they're deciding where EBU will go, right? It's not about EBU is somebody who's dictating everybody everything. No, this is the platform where all the countries are meeting and they're deciding themselves what are the next steps. And now we see that we are in the era where we are losing the requirements for artists, we are losing the requirements for semifinals, and therefore we are getting this format backwards. We are killing the requirements for the artists, which will result that the really good ones will not like to go there because they would see, okay, but maybe in this combination of draw I don't have a chance, because it's a little bit irrelevant, the quality over here, if you don't have this above 7, which is also rare to still do. And although we are then therefore we are losing therefore we are inviting more or less quality artists and songs who are not afraid of this and maybe making fun of Eurovision again, and it will take much more time to get back on track than not. So this is from my perspective, and some of you are asking like, but why are there juries from there? They are still voting for the same countries, they are still voting for the same kind of music. No, they are voting for more likely quality music. So more and more requirements we will have on artists, better and maybe even more diverse music we will receive. And I know that you like songs with ethno and local stuff, but I think it's local for a reason, right? Because no one around don't really care, and to showcase it just at Eurovision, this is maybe good for you, but for the whole brand this is a dead trap, which will be very hard to get from. Just think about it from a different angle. Of course, I respect your opinions, so write them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, buy me a coffee or give me a super like, or become a member to have exclusive content and also time exclusivity of my videos. And that's it. I will not edit this. I will just put it how it is, almost with all the stuff. No, I will edit it. I have two cameras. Come on. I will at least make it look nice, so you have also visual enjoyment. So I hope this video made sense for you. I just needed to talk through so many topics. Maybe I will next time do more specific topics. Also write me in the comments below, what would you like to hear from me from the professional point of view. You know, I think this is important, that I'm still able to look at Eurovision from completely different perspective, and this perspective I want to share with you, so maybe to give you another opinions in your head how to think about the project we all love. So this is it. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.